everyone, Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. I apologize for the background noise. I have my mother's dog here and she is a good chewer. I take that back. It's actually my dog who's chewing. Anyway, two dogs, two family members watching TV. I'm sorry. So this is my what I wore this month for August 2017. This was a normal period for me, about 7 days, and 85% of my period fell out in the 6-hour time block. That's kind of how I roll. In no particular order here, I used 2 cup spots this month. One is this, you've seen it before, Red Anchor cloth. It's an OBV, and I think she uses WinPro. And then this little cutie from Hoo Hoo Rags with the fleece back. I also use some bigger ones. Again, these are considered breast pads, but I use them as spots and wipes and everything else in there, and they are, it looks like flannel backed in front. I made a purchase from Stinkin' Adorable for Scrundies actually, and they sent me a free wet bag pouch. I don't have a lot of like pouches, but I tried this out this month, just this style of wet bag, and of course it's Star Wars and I'm a sucker for all Star Wars themed things, pads, everything. And this was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to have a little wet bag like this, and it holds a cup very well as well with like things, so I used this and liked it. I used 3 cups this month with varying degrees of success. I used my Lena Sensitive small at work with excellent success. I really enjoyed this cup. I used my Lena regular small at the lake with my friend and swam and like did some, like was all over for the day, and it was great and had no leaks, no issues at all. This was wonderful this month. And then I tried this doozy. This was not successful for me at this moment in time. This is the FemiCycle Low Cervix, and this one, I'm starting to get the feel for cups in general. I wanted to try this one though because it has a larger capacity, and I am forever looking for a cup to wear during the time that, again, that 6-hour block where so much comes out of me. So I tried this because I do have a low cervix, and it says a higher capacity than the Lena, but the Lena large is too long. So the insertion of this one is a little different. There's a notch on it and you have to fold it like that. I mean, okay. And it's not supposed to be open all the way. It doesn't, so they said. So I wore this to Pilates, and thank goodness I wore a pad, like an actual regular, I wish I had worn a heavy, but it was okay, a regular pad, because I changed this right before class and put it back in because I was a little nervous, and this did absolutely nothing. At the after class, I was like, oh, I went in there and yeah, so this was not entirely successful. I think there's just quite a learning curve with this. I'm not giving up on it yet, but this month it did not work so well for me. On to the pads. Dun, da, da. So the first one I have here is from Sunshine Bums, and this is a 7 1/4 inch light. It's a hand-dyed OBV top, and it has like this bonded Sherpa sort of back, which I do like. I know some people complain that it's too hot, but I didn't really have a problem with it. And this is not 100% my ideal shape, and I intended to give it to my daughter, but I just don't have anything with this design on it, and so I kept it. And I wore it, and it was just fine. It worked. I made it work. I wore this adorable little thong. I think this is a thong liner, light, or a liner from Kitty Cat Cloth. Obviously, I got this one in D-Stash at some point. And I was surprised at how well it worked, to be perfectly honest. Wore this liner from Moongazy Cloth. This is the one I wore for pad backup for like the entire day, and nothing got on it. This is some sort of cotton topped, and it's got a corduroy back. And this was very comfortable and it's beautiful and I really like it, and I really wish that they weren't from overseas somewhere. I wore this little liner and I believe it's Bridget's Flame. I believe I ordered it off someone's Facebook page. This little camping themed liner. I think she does put some sort of core in her liners, but I could be wrong. It just looks, from where I'm looking through it, I think it does look like there's something in there. Okay, my mother's dog just like grabbed a fly right out of the air and proceeded to eat it. Good dog. I got this 9-inch liner from Honeymoon Reusables. This was the first thing I purchased from her. It's got this, I mean, she uses a beautiful color backing. I can't even. Got a couple of Grayson Street Emporiums here. I have this, I want to say a 10-inch light with bacon, knit topped, with bacon. Do you notice it has bacon? This is like the only food other than tea that I don't mind having on a pad, is bacon. And then this is her front bleeder style, and this is a PK top, and this has tea, bubble tea on it, and of course it's a WinPro back, and this is a moderate, I believe. I gotta try out my Fluffy Butts cloth front bleeder. It was a delight to wear, to be perfectly honest, partly because the fleece back is just fantastic. I love this. I almost like, more than the front, I like the back. And I got this in my monthly mashup box. So this kitty cat cloth, moderate, Sittin' Kitten, Sherpa topped, bore the brunt of my cup failure. And it looks pretty good considering. So this pad wins Most Valuable Pad of the Month award. I wore 2 pad tie cloths. This one is a front bleeder light. I got this in the monthly mashup as well with ice cream on it. And I forget what kind of fleece she uses. I believe it's WinPro on the back. This front bleeder, it's a little bit longer, 10 inches perhaps. This is a moderate, and this I got in D-Stash, and they said there was a stain on it, but I don't see a stain, so talk about being very honest. I got 3 bats here that I wore. I think this is a 9.5-inch knit top, fleece backed. I love this fuzz on the bottom. I do love this style, even though I really am a front bleeder. I like it. So, you know, more bats will be probably adding themselves to my stash. This is a 10.5-inch, and this is a hand-dyed OBV or OCV. I can't really tell the difference because I'm not a sewer. So all I know is I like the dark colors, and actually the light is showing very nicely the different color variations in here, surprisingly enough. But I like that it's dark, so stain treating is not really an issue. And then, of course, because I am a Sherpa crazy, this is the 12-inch or 12.5, I want to say. I believe I wore this overnight because I don't really need a whole ton of this way anymore. This is a Bridget's Flame that I got in D-Stash. This is also Sherpa, and this I wore at night, although I really don't need all of this excess. But I'm having a hard time putting it in my daughter's stash. Like a really hard time giving that up. I wore this 12-inch Super from Hoo Hoo Rags. This was one of the first pads I ever got with the red blood cells on it. I thought it was completely appropriate. This is either a PK or some sort of swim knit something, and it doesn't stain, which is lovely. And I believe she uses a WinPro back. And this is one of my favorites. Very, 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 very comfortable. I've got my heavy overnight kitty, which I usually wear the heavy, like my heaviest day overnight. I got this one in D-Stash. I don't know what this is. Some sort of knit, and then fleece on the back. And I know it's not all that exciting, but it's kind of cute and I like it because it works. 3 more Grayson Street Emporiums for you here. Of course, I wore 2 fluffies this time. Watermelons and books. think this has some sort of Zorb in the middle. Whatever it is, it's like really squishy and fluffy, and these are like being on a cloud, but you can see them through your pants, so be careful. These are the 12, I want to say 12.5 inch, but these work wonderful for, again, that 6-hour time period where everything falls out. And this one is one of her thin styles, Grayson Street Emporium. It is also a heavy, and I mean, these really do work really, really well. From a gusher, you know, I've never had any leaks with these. And last, but definitely not least, I wore this 12-inch Crimson Moon pad, some sort of OBV top, and Winpro back. And this one is also these are pretty thick. It is a heavy, it's a decent size pad, so sometimes you don't have a choice. So that is kind of that for this month, and I will talk to y'all later.